What is up, guys? Welcome to your 7th tutorial on how to build a server. In this tutorial, we're going to go over hard drives, we're going to install our hard drives, we're going to piece together our case, and finally, we're going to be prepared and ready to go for our BIOS update. So, let's get started. Alright guys, so here's where we're starting. We're looking at the hard drives. We have our SSDs, we have our HDDs. The form factors here are 2.5 inch and 3.5 inch. Make sure you check the case, make sure you know if you need to buy brackets, because sometimes you won't have a place in your case for one of these. You'll have to buy a bracket to convert to one of these sizes. So let's talk about drives really quickly. These drives are mechanical hard drives. They have pins and moving parts inside of them. These are more like flash drives. Now, the thing is about these, if you drop one of these, it's probably going to break. You drop one of these, you throw it around like a frisbee, you go up to your roof 5 stories up and you drop it down into the grass, probably nothing's going to happen to it as long as it doesn't crack or break right here. You're going to be alright. So, now let's talk about what hard drives do. Hard drives store your data. So if you had a file and you wanted to say, 1100 whatever, 00111 101011. Gotta add that extra 1 in there. So here's your file. You're gonna save this to your hard drive, which is gonna be one of these or one of them. And then when you turn your computer off, these are gonna remember this file, so that when your computer goes back on, you can retrieve these files, nothing gets thrown away. Perfect, that's exactly what we need. Guys, it's worth noting for this particular case, you cannot install a solid state drive into this drive bay. There's another spot inside the case for it, but I'll show you how to install a regular drive into this drive bay. I'm not going to actually keep this inside the computer, I'm using this as an example only. So, this will slide in one of two ways. It'll either slide in face down or face up, and you're going to screw the screws right into these bottom holes on here, and that is why it does what it does. So, twist this around, kind of on this side, and go ahead and pop that in there, and wait till you see the holes line up right here, and put your screws in. Let's take our bracket, and let's install it. There's these 4 little catch holes right there that go and catch into the bottom here to lock this thing in place. So we just gotta line those up, slide it in. It's really quick, really simple. Now guys, remember the bolt that we're using? Because there's 2 of them here. We only have one of these. It's this really tiny one compared to these big thumb hole screws or thumb twist screws. I don't even know what to call these right now. But anyway, this is the one we're looking for, this real tiny one. So let's go ahead and just thumb that in there. Now, I'm not going to use a screwdriver to screw this in, because if I want to take this apart later on, I want to just be able to do it without tools. Okay guys, let's talk about our serial ATA cable really fast. So serial ATA, also known as SATA, is our interface to our hard drives that we're going to use. So let us plug this in really fast. You'll notice that there's 2 sides. There's a corner side and there's a straight side. We're going to plug the straight side into the motherboard because the corner side is just difficult to fit in at that location. So let us go ahead, plug that in. Now both ends of the cable have L connectors, so you can't plug them in the wrong way. But to kind of show you the hard drive really fast, this is the hard drive. There's that L right there. This will simply just plug right into it. So we're going to unplug that really quickly and continue. Okay guys, these cables are getting a little rowdy. We do not want any of them to hit this fan because we don't want to slow down our cooling process. So I'm going to run all these cables over the fan and bring them as tight as possible to the nearest cable, which is right there. That's where I'm going to put a twist tie underneath, tie these guys together. There we go. So now these are going to stay in place, they're not going anywhere. You can tie these guys also together just to keep them organized. Keep them right where I want them. Done. Right off to the side there, so that our air can flow from here straight back through the motherboard and out the back of the case. Okay guys, for the next thing we're going to do is finally we're going to put this in, drop it in, push it down, push it forward, and thumb these thumb screws into place, just like how we took it apart. Again guys, I'm not going to use tools for this. I want to be able to remove this anytime I want without tools. So. Good. Let's install the hard drive. Here we go. This is the only thing that we're going to install. There's a clip that came with the case. It's like a little bracket looking thing. So there's 2 holes on this drive. There's also 2 places to plug those holes into right here on the back of the board. Make sure the ports are facing backwards, and we're just going to slide that into the hole. Put it with the clip facing up, clip it down, and that sucker's not going anywhere. Now guys, remember that serial ATA cable that we plugged into the motherboard? Now it's time to plug it right into the hard drive. Right there in the back, click, done. Okay, now it's time for the power. Now guys, you're going to see these power rails. That's what these are called. These are called rails, by the way. And it has like an L on it. It's just like the serial ATA interface. We're going to plug it right there for power. Now guys, don't forget that we do have a top fan on the top of the case, so we do need one of these power things left out. However, we're going to do a little bit of cable management first. We're going to go ahead and take this big snake looking thing. We're going to start pushing these wires into the top of the bay here, so that these wires are out of the way of any possible airflow that's going through the case. I'm going to do these last, because we do need one of these. Which maybe we'll just undo this really quickly and leave one out. Okay, not that one. This is the one. This is the one we're going to leave out. So, what we're going to do is strap these guys together here. Strap it with all of these. Tie them together. And push them into that bay. Okay, so I grabbed the top of the case. We're going to just plug it into the power strip that we left out here. Put the cables right there. Tuck them away. Pop it down, slide it into place. All we have to do is pop our bolts back on the back of this thing, and we're done. Okay guys, so I hooked up the case. I put the bolts back in. I set up a small monitor, not a TV, nothing huge, because I have a TV here I want to plug in through HDMI, but this is just a regular flat screen VGA monitor. Use a wired keyboard, don't use a wireless keyboard. Often enough, wireless keyboards will not work. Same with the wireless mice. So let's start it up. This is what we're supposed to see is a splash screen right here. That's going to give us a few options. One of those options is to enter the BIOS. We didn't get that. Instead we got insert boot media in selected boot device and press a key. What that means is that it did not detect an operating system on our hard drive that it could boot. So what we're going to do is we're going to reset this with a Control-Delete, and when it posts, we're going to hit the delete key to enter the BIOS. Basically what happened is the monitor couldn't keep up with the system. Okay, so now we're in the BIOS. Guys, thanks for watching, and subscribe to me, give me some feedback, and I'll see you guys next video.